Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Data Compression Technique video lecture. In this video lecture, we will learn about subband coding and wavelet-based compression. Firstly, I will discuss about subband coding. What is subband coding? Subband coding is a form of transform coding that breaks a signal into a number of different frequency bands and encode each one independently. Subband coding basically is a technique of decomposing the source signal into constituent parts and decoding the parts separately. We can understand with an example that is when used for audio compression, subband coding exploit with might be considered a deficiency of human auditory system. Human ears are normally sensitive to a wide range of frequency, but when sufficiently loud signal is present at one frequency, the ear will not hear weaker signal at nearby frequency. We say that the louder signal masks the softer one. Louder signal is called masker, and the point at which masking occurs is known marking threshold. This is the basic subband coding scheme. The basic idea of SBC is to enable a data reduction by discarding information about frequency which are masked. The result differs from the original signal, but if the discarded information is chosen carefully, the difference will not be noticeable. Now comes to the next topic, that is filters. We will discuss about different type of filters. First is ideal low pass filter. Filter that strictly allow the signals with frequency less than and attenuate the signals with frequency more than specified cutoff frequency. F0 is cutoff frequency in the figure number 1, and what is the magnitude transfer ratio? The ratio of magnitude of input and output of filter as a function of frequency, that is known as magnitude transfer function. Now what is the low pass filter, high pass filter and band pass filter? Filter that block all frequency component below certain value of are called high pass filter, and the filter that have frequency content above some frequency f1 but below frequency f2 are called band pass filter. The sampled signal at more than 2 f0 times per second of the highest frequency component of a signal is f0. It is called Nyquist theorem, or we can say Nyquist rule. The journal form of input and output is shown yn, where xn is the input sequence of filter and yn is the output sequence from the filter. The value of alpha I and beta I are the filter coefficient. If input signal is a signal 1 followed by all zeros, the output sequence is called impulse response of filter. If value of beta are all 0, then impulse response will die out after n samples. These filters are called FIR, means finite impulse response filters. If value of beta I are not 0, then impulse response is continuous. These filters are called infinite impulse response filter, that is IIR filters. The next topic is basic subband coding algorithm. The basic subband coding algorithm system consists three major components, that is analyze, filter bank, quantization encoding, and third is synthesis filter bank. Firstly, we will discuss analyze filter bank. Analyze filter bank. The source in analyzing stage, source output is passed through a bank of filter called analyze filter bank, which cover range of frequency that make up source output. The passbands of filters can be overlapping or non-overlapping. The output of filters are then subsampled, or we can say decimated according to the Nyquist rate. According to the Nyquist rate, we can reduce the number of symbols at the output of filter, because range of frequency at the output of filter shorter than range of frequencies at the input to the filter. The process of reducing the number of samples is called decimation, or we can say down sampling. The ratio of bandwidth of filter's output to the filter input, also called decimation or subsampling. We can decimate the output by a factor of m by keeping every m samples. This is the basic block diagram of subband coding system. Decide the amount of decimation. If bandwidth at the output of a filter is 1 by m of bandwidth at the input to the filter. After the decimation of the output of filter has been done, output is encoded. We can see in this block diagram the output is encoded using one of several coding techniques like ADPCM and PCM and vector quantization, etc. Now second step is quantization and coding. Different subband contain different amount of information. Therefore, we need to allocate the available bit among the subbands according to some measure of information content. We can understand with an example. There are several ways available for distributing the available bits. Suppose we wish a coding rate of 1 bit per sample. We can achieve this by using 1 bit per sample for each of the 4 bands. Taking another example, suppose we are decomposing the image into 4 subband and we want encoding coding rate of 1 bit per pixel. We can do this by using 1 bit per pixel for each sub image, or we could discard 2 sub image and 2 bit per pixel for remaining 2 sub-image, or we would use all 4 bits per pixel for first sub-image and discard the other 3. This bit allocation procedure can have a significant impact on the quality of final reconstruction, especially when information content of different band is very different. Now, third step is synthesis filter bank. To reconstruct a representation of the original signal at the decoder, quantized encoded coefficient are used. These encoded samples from each subbands at the receiver end are decoded first. The value of these decoded are then upsampled by inserting an approximate number of zeros between samples. These upsample signals are passed through a bank of reconstruction filter if the number of samples per second has been brought back to the original rate. This is the basic algorithm of subband coding. Now we will discuss next topic in part 2 of subband coding. Thank you.